Welcome back to the Tempo Storm Hearthstone Meta Snapshot Breakdown for October 28th, 2016. The biggest change to the Meta Snapshot on the ladder is that Malygos Druid has joined Midrange Shaman in Tier 1. In most iterations of Malygos Druid, the deck holds a 50-50 matchup against midrange Shaman. What distinguishes Mali Druid, however, is that its particular matchup against Shaman can be greatly improved by a few tech cards, especially Baron Geddon and Harrison Jones, while still maintaining a strong presence against the rest of the prominent meta decks. As the end of the season approaches, more players will be running the strongest deck in Hearthstone, midrange Shaman, making Malygos Druid and the other decks that have decent matchups against Shaman the most reasonable alternatives. Now, many weeks out from the last expansion of new cards, the meta has mostly settled and stabilized. Perhaps the most notable exception to this is the continued iteration on and refining of Hunter, with Secret Hunter becoming the new standard for the class, sitting at the top of Tier 2 and as the third strongest deck in the meta right now. Secret Hunter has the potential to rush down decks that are attempting to counter midrange Shaman like Malygos Druid and Control Warrior, while also holding a strong chance against Shaman as well. The lists are becoming so efficient and so refined that the deck has eliminated almost all card draw, aside from the conditional draw on Quick Shot, and typically including just one copy of Tracking to be able to find the particular out or finisher in games where it's necessary. As the end of the season nears, the prominence of Shaman and its counters will increase. Weapon removal is becoming nearly an expectation, and the museum will be in full swing with Harrison Jones in many lists across the meta. Many Shaman lists are often opting for a copy of Acidic Swamp Ooze for the Mirror matchup and for the Warrior matchup. In addition to this, Secret Hunter's Cat Trick has quickly developed into one of the strongest single cards in the early turns of any matchup, and holds particular relevance for countering Wild Growth on turn 2 from Malygos Druid and early Tempo Mage spells like Frostbolt and Arcane Blast. In the final days of the season, players on the competitive ranks of ladder can expect two things. 1. More Shaman. And 2. More of Shaman's counters. While Shaman's most direct counters, like Freeze Mage, might seem appealing, the Surge in Malygos Druid and Control Warrior, both wildly unfavored matchups for Freeze Mage, should deter the direct counter to Shaman significantly. If these options don't sound appealing, erring on the more aggressive side of decks like Tempo Mage and Secret Hunter should fare nicely in the field in the week ahead. Our deck of the week for this Meta Snapshot breakdown is Secret Hunter. Lining up a 3-mana Cloaked Huntress with your choice of viable secrets like Cat Trick, Freezing Trap, Explosive Trap, Snake Trap, and Bear Trap, Secret Hunter is a thrilling deck to pilot as it makes some very high-risk, high-reward lines of play. Oftentimes by turn 3 or even turn 2 with Coin, the Hunter player may have dumped most of its hand completely onto the board in secrets with a Cloaked Huntress and hopefully a Secret Keeper. Comboing these efficient plays with endless charges of an Eaglehorn Bow is usually a sequence that no deck in Hearthstone can overcome. Some lists will round out the later game with an Infested Wolf and Savannah Highmane, while more aggressive style lists will look to finish with cards like Leroy Jenkins. Secret Hunter is still undergoing changes, experimentation, and adaptation to find the best spot in the meta. This makes it an interesting and perhaps refreshing alternative to the powerhouse decks which have little room for changes. We are approaching what we expect will be the end of a settled meta as Blizzcon 2016 looms at the start of November, typically bringing the announcement of new additions to Hearthstone. If you enjoyed this Meta Snapshot breakdown, consider leaving us a like or favorite. Please subscribe to stay tuned with all of Tempo Storm's news and Hearthstone content. We'll see you next week. Most Freeze Mage lists has provided a more accessible win condition in many matchups. While Freeze Mage remains notorious for being one of the most complex decks in Hearthstone to play, effective pilot